What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Derek. First video vlog, and I'm talking about the Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant fight. Okay, so I think that was a decent fight. I think if anything, Caleb had a strong chance of winning. Only thing was he could not take any punches. He could not take any of Canelo hits. Everything that Canelo was throwing, he was getting affected by. Every time he got touched, I can see that he was affected slightly. He didn't show it, but you could tell he barely want to get up in there. He barely want to get his hands dirty. All I'm saying is that I wish that he did more in terms of like combinations or just putting some more heat on it. I don't know how strong he really could have hit, but he didn't show Canelo any uh, way to make him respect him. Anything he was doing was just like Canelo was like, okay, I seen this, I felt this. Caleb, when he got hit, them side shots was making him feel like, whoa, hold up, what is this? What's going on here? You know, but I like that he did have that grit. He wasn't scared to fight. He was cautious, but he wasn't taking any chances because I like he know what he's dealing with once he got in that ring. He felt the strength. Like when I saw the beginning of the fight when Canelo was pushing his head, I think that was like Canelo way of signifying his dominance. Like he was putting his hand on his head, telling him, "All right, look, you will stay in this spot, and I'm gonna keep you here." He kind of was asserting his alpha basically. He was putting himself out there like I'm top dog here. To Caleb. I don't think Caleb was thinking that, but I feel like he noticed the strength right there, you know. Because every time he was coming up, he jabbing, he moving, he'll put something on it. He did in the middle of the fight start to put things together a little bit, but he wasn't doing enough to get the win. I truly believe if he would have got up, if the ref would have stopped the fight, didn't stop the fight, let him got up, the knockout would have been way more brutal. It would have been looking like career ending, you know. You know, it was all in all, it was a good fight. I want to see Caleb get back in there. I think that he'll do good. Again, I feel like this could be his Canelo versus Floyd, if that make any sense. Because I feel like when you get whooped or outclassed or whatever by a top ranked fighter, you know you change up your makeup of the fight. Depends on who you are though as a fighter though, because some fighters they fall flat after a while, like Adrian Broner did. But most times, you know, if you smart, you're gonna take pieces from that and upgrade yourself. And I feel like Caleb Plant got that potential to do that. If anything, I think that he should not take this and live in that L. Really treat it like a lesson. Like, okay, he felt that. He felt what he could be run into in the future. Because he's still in his 20s. He's what, 29? So he got time to develop. He's still young. He still could rock with him in the future. I just feel like now that he experienced that, he can move on from this. But I believe that it's going to take a second. Maybe he should get into the fight. I think he should get somebody that's, not on a Canelo level at the moment. I feel like he should, you know, surf a little bit before he jump back into the ranks. But I believe Caleb will be victorious again. He will be champion again. Maybe not when Canelo's around. Maybe if Canelo move up and stay up there, maybe he'll be back in the ranks of things. But seeing that fight, because I really didn't know too much about Caleb Plant. I knew he was around. I never checked on him. I'm be honest, but I still liked it, like his story and everything, him being an underdog and all of that stuff. And I was like, you know what, I believe that he could have pulled it off. And seeing the fight yesterday, I believe that he definitely could have. He had a lot of things that could have neutralized Canelo, minus I feel like the raw power. He had a lot of things. If he just applied a little bit more pressure, he could have took the W. But I feel like they was giving Canelo the lean anyways because he's the champ. So he had to show himself yesterday. He had to really show himself that he could really get down and box. he can box, but he just didn't get down with it. He kept moving, he kept doing what he's supposed to, but he just didn't show enough. Canelo, he of course he came in and did everything he always do. You know, he established himself. He a counterpuncher. He was trying to look. I seen that he was trying to look for the knockout. I was worried that maybe that would have set him up for failure, but it didn't. It worked in his advantage, being the bully, the aggressive, because most times, you know, when people do that false, you know, it hurts them because they not thinking about defense. But he was still smart while trying to go for the knockout. Because I seen around maybe round 9 and 10, that's when he starts to turn it up a little bit. Because I noticed out the maybe round 4, he was learning a little bit more. He learned plant. He knew what plant mo was. I seen it. I seen the movements get more slicker after a while. He started to really show himself, you know, reveal his hand. But I was kind of hoping for more bang. I was hoping him to push him on the ropes a little bit when I was seeing Canelo fight. Because I was like, when he was on the ropes, he could have. I'm not sure Porter them, but he could have, you know, roughed them up a little more. But I knew Canelo had thoughts in his head too, cause he know fighters like Caleb can give him problems. Lara did that. Floyd, you know. So he was being cautious with slick boxers, cause he knows slick boxers is not his kryptonite, but it's something that can hinder him in a fight. You know. So I like that he was aware of that, not just brushing Caleb to the side. He knew he had something he had to worry about a little bit dealing with Plant. But all in all, it was a good fight. I don't want to see a rematch. I mean, if it happened, I'll watch it. But if anything, I'm okay with what I saw. I just want to see more from Plant, because now Plant, he got me interested in looking at his fights. You know, I'm gonna look back at his old fights just to get a who like really know who this guy is. You know, I knew that he was in the Olympics with Spence, Errol them, and Michael Hunter and all that, but I didn't know who he was. You know, I just knew he was around. But now that I seen him fight, I can say that I can stay. I'll be in tune and probably watch him a little bit more. Canelo, don't know what's going on with him next. I want him to fight Demetrius Andrade. I don't care what people say about the last fight he had. The performance he had, he still pulled the win off. You know, I still want to see that undisputed title bout against him and Demetrius Andrade, because I believe Andrade got some stuff that might really, you know, confuse Canelo, or might make him, you know, have to think, you know, really have to, because he puzzling, you know, the way he move and everything. I believe is potential in that fight. I think that's a good fight. I think that it might not be like top billing, but it might be something that's like you know, something to watch, something that you can go back to. It's a rerun fight, I believe. Like rerun fights, I believe is fights like Floyd Maidana won. You know, those fights that you want to see again. Like you can watch it and then go back to it right after. You know, I believe that could be a rerun fight. You know, hopefully they get to it. Don't know what he go do with the light heavyweight. You know, Canelo got all things going for him right now. Best of luck to him. All I say is the fight I rated 4 point. If you want to do that 5 scale, a 4.8. No, 4.7. Just because I was kind of thirsty for some more action. I wanted to see more aggression, just somebody just raw at you. But it was still a smart fight. It was still a good fight. I was entertained. The folks I had at my fight parties entertained. We was looking, we was sitting on the edge of our seat still, because the fight was always unpredictable. I felt like something was gonna happen. Didn't know when, but I knew something was gonna happen, and hopefully, I can get the chance to watch the Terrence Crawford Sean Porter fight and see what that happened, and maybe do a live react to it, because that fight is something I'm really anxious about. I really want to see that fight, and I hope when it go down, it goes down. But that's it for me. It's my first little, recap reaction, whatever you want to call it. I just want to test out the waters, but I will be posting more often and getting more in tune with the YouTube world. All right, guys. It's my last little bout out. Peace.